And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we want to share with you some of the great sights, sounds, smells, and tastes we've come across in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Absolutely beautiful town, and we hope you enjoy our time in Albuquerque as much as we have.
Come along.
Now, first off, we start at Petroglyph National Monument. And this is a little bit different because when you get to Petroglyph National Monument, this is their visitor center, and there's only one trail that leaves from here, which is the Boca Negra Canyon Trail. It is not pet friendly. There are two that are, the Rinconada Canyon and the Piedras Marcadas Canyon. That's where we are, is the Piedras Marcadas. It's about a 1.8 mile round trip loop, and they have about 400 images of petroglyphs here, which was the most bang for the buck.
Yes.
Compared to the Three Rivers petroglyphs that we saw earlier in our travels, where there were over 21,000, I believe there's between 700 and 800 petroglyphs total in these three trails.
And this trail is a lot different than the other one. The other one was going up into the rocks and the boulders. This went along the bottom of the ridge.
It was a lot more flat, yes, not a lot less climbing involved. The petroglyphs in the first part of it are in these black rocks. They're a little bit further away. You'll see some of them there in the distance. But as you do go on back through, there are places where the trail does get a little bit closer to the petroglyphs, like here. There's another section coming up here that's all handprints over everything. It's really kind of, you wonder what was going through their minds. And it is completely unknown. They don't know if the petroglyph was a complete thought or if all of them together made a story. It's still just really not well agreed upon what was going on with this. The very first part where you first saw us come in was concrete, but it's only just for a few feet. It is not a handicapped accessible, but it is pet friendly. There you can see some up there in the rocks. This was a nice hike. It wasn't as much of a wow factor as what we saw at the Three Rivers petroglyphs. But
it's still so fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And these are hundreds to thousands of years old. And some of the things that they draw, you do have to wonder what they were thinking. Maggie got her bark ranger while we were there too.
She did.
Next, it was off to Old Town. And Old Town Albuquerque would be like a trip in and of itself. This is an area of the original town of Albuquerque, which had one extra R in it originally. And over time, that R was taken out. And most of the buildings in Old Town were built between 1870 and 1900. The town itself was established in 1706. And the reason that Albuquerque actually grew from about 1.5 miles away from here was that's where the railroad decided to come. So after this whole area had been built and established, the railroad came through 1.5 miles away, and the town just kind of moved.
Yes.
Now Albuquerque's a larger city. It's over 500,000 population. So the town has grown back around Old Town. But this is really kind of a neat spot.
Yes, it is.
There's all kinds of the requisite gift shops and touristy things, but there's a lot of native crafts, native jewelry, just some really, really fascinating thing. While you're in this area, there's a great little square there in the center. And just behind the square is San Felipe de Neri. Please excuse pronunciation, but I think that's close. And this was built in 1793. And it is the original church in the area, the original mission in the area. You walk into this, there is a small gift shop. That's how they support having it open to the public. The original church bell was there. And you walk into the side of the chapel. And it's rather long and narrow. We walked part way back here so we could give you the how beautiful the altar at the front of the church is. Now, back on the outside of the church, they have one of the most beautiful gardens.
Yes, it really was pretty.
Definitely worth taking a stroll through. You can't go to Albuquerque without Breaking Bad. They have a Breaking Bad RV tour where they've got an RV that they take you around and show you all the sights. We didn't take that, but this is in Old Town, and this is the Breaking Bad store. And even though it's called the store, they've got all sorts of things you can buy, but they do have like a museum area.
Yes, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So you've got all of the pictures, you've got mannequins, you've got scenes. You can get your picture taken with any of the characters from Breaking Bad there. They've got costumes that were used in it. Albuquerque is the place for Breaking Bad
That's
fandom.
right.
Look at Los Polos. You can even have a seat there.
That's right.
So from there, we went over to the Rattlesnake Museum. This is something very different for us.
And it's very important because if you are new to the West and you're going to go out traipsing, you better know what these things look like.
That's right. And it's not just rattlesnakes. That was actually a crocodile head from, I believe, Polk County, Florida.
Yeah.
But these snakes are all alive, all different positions. But they do have some lizards, they do have some tortoise, they do have some other reptile-ish creatures.
It's a Gila monster.
That is. But yeah, they're very much alive.
Yes.
There are some non-rattlesnakes, but the majority of the snakes, look how long that guy is too. That's all one snake.
And I was amazed at how many different rattlesnakes there were. It's not just one snake. They have so many looks.
Many different varieties, many different colors, and you can see how in the terrain that we've been hiking through, they could be very well camouflaged.
Oh yeah. Thank goodness they got that rattle.
That's right. And that tongue. When that forked tongue comes out at me, I don't know. But this place is also pet friendly, which we thought was kind of neat. So Maggie got a good education on it. They even have a tortoise and a lizard out there outside. And Maggie got her certificate of bravery for going through it.
That's right.
This is her town, I'll tell you. So it was time for something good to eat. So we went to the Church Street Cafe, which doesn't especially sound Mexican, but it's a Mexican restaurant right there in Old Town, right behind the church, hence the name. We ate on the outdoor patio, however, the indoor seating was beautiful. They've got full wine selection and bar. And I know we're far away for anybody to be reading off of that, but I wanted you to see how big and how extensive this menu is. It goes on and on.
It was pretty amazing.
It was wonderful. We both got combination plates, but we started off margarita. You had something lavender. Was it lavender lemonade?
I think it was, yeah.
And then we both had combinations. They had chili relleno in it, fresh homemade guacamole.
This
really
stuff was
good.
so good, yes.
Yeah. And then sopapillas for dessert came with the meal.
They were yummy.
It was very, very, very good. Well, in leaving Albuquerque, we were staying just to the east side of town, and we took Route 66 there towards the east side. And you can see how the town kind of grew into Route 66, but you can still see the little quirky things about Route 66 as you go along. Some of the properties have been repurposed, but the architecture, it definitely looks like Route 66. And it goes on from the center of Albuquerque out.
It continues.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 miles like this. So the town has really grown around Route 66. And as you go on Interstate 40, you'll see historic 66 markers all the way. But this was special. This is the musical highway, or what remains of it. And as you're driving along, the road will play you a tune. Take a listen. Now, it used to do the whole bit of America the Beautiful, but they've done some paving and patching. It's a little bit harder to find now. Now we're at the Sandia Peak Tramway, and the Sandia Peak is one of the tallest points in Albuquerque. And it is actually 10,378 feet up in the air. This is their gift shop. Right outside the gift shop is where the tram is operated. And it was in the middle 70s. It's 48 degrees on top of the mountain.
It got pretty chilly.
And windy. So dress appropriately.
Maggie stayed home for this one.
Yes. Yeah, this one, the tram is not pet friendly. So Maggie stayed home for us to go out there. But it's beautiful scenery. This one is one of those tramways that's in the record books. There are only 2 vertical supports, and they're both in the first half. There's a 2.7 mile long unsupported section, which is supposed to be the longest one, I believe, in the United States, if not the world. From that last tower that we just went by to up on the mountain, it's just you and the cables. It's pretty crazy. The views are amazing.
Yes, they are.
You can see the cables going off there. You can't even see the support because it's just past the peak of that mountain ridge ahead of us. There's a red car and a blue car. And when you get to the very top, you'll see 10-3, which is their restaurant. The 10-3, if you don't make a reservation for it, you go to what they call their sports bar. If you do make a reservation, you go into their fine dining section. The food at the sports bar, because we didn't do a reservation on this ahead of time, was amazing.
Yes, it was.
And you've got a beautiful view.
Now they ski off of this.
Yeah, there's the back side of this. You'll see all the ski lifts and everything, and they're skiing from up there. I believe that was another lavender lemonade.
I think so.
We were striking lavender up like crazy there.
Yeah.
You had the macaroni and cheese with the brisket, and I had the brisket Sammy. And it had like an apple slaw on it. It was great. But what of you? There comes one of the gondolas up. It's a great ride. It's a great trip. You do need to buy your tickets online. You cannot buy tickets there. If you show up there without tickets, they'll make you go on your phone if you happen to be lucky enough to have signal and buy your tickets online. All the tickets are handled online.
And look at that view.
Oh, it's amazing. Also, if you do get reservations for the restaurant, you get priority onto the gondola. And there we passed. So Cathy, we're up here on top of the mountain and we have snow beside us, which is kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
But we have this beautiful view behind us.
It's fantastic.
What did you think of Albuquerque overall?
I really love Albuquerque.
The views are incredible. If you're going to do a lot of hiking, always check the altitude, because we found out going from 5,000 up here to 10,000, there's a lot of difference as far as the oxygen and everything.
That's right.
We hope you've enjoyed Albuquerque as much as we have. If you have, leave us a thumbs up. We certainly appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also ring that notification bell, and that way you'll know when every one of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.